Hi guys, welcome back to A Beautiful Mess. My name is Bonnie, and if you're new here, welcome. This house that you're looking at belongs to Cammy, and she lives here with her husband and her two kids. And she's had multiple health issues as well as her husband has, but we're focusing mostly on Cammy in this series because she has recently had a lot going on. And I'll go into that a little bit later in the video, but I just wanted to lay out first of all what our goal here in this front room is, and then we'll get into the rest of the story in just a minute. But I'm working with Lynnita today, and she's been in some of my other videos as well, but we are clearing everything out of this front room to get down to the carpet, to thoroughly clean this carpet because Cammy has a couple of older dogs that have had some accidents on this carpet, so we wanted to get everything cleared out, get the carpet really cleaned, and then bring back just a little bit at a time to put it back a little bit more organized or put stuff where it actually goes. There were a couple of funny moments that I caught on camera of Lynnita and some things that freaked her out. So I'm going to let you enjoy those, and then we'll get back to Cammy and her story.
Mommy, is this fake?
Bacon. It's bacon.
It's fake bacon, right? It's not like,
Yes.
is it like just...
Oh, it's just like one of those toys, like a
Okay,
fake jelly.
okay. Okay.
You're like, what?
For a moment, I'm like, do not tell me I'm touching real bacon right now. I mean, it's fine, but I just, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it does look real.
Mommy.
It's not attached to your head. You're good. That's funny.
Just check
Yeah.
it out there? Okay.
She's so cute. I just love Lynnita. Okay, anyway, back to Cammy and her story. If you have not seen the first three, you might want to go check those out, but just a quick recap, and I won't go into all the details because there were a lot of those in the first three videos in this series, but she has what's called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which in short just means that her pancreas is not making digestive enzymes anymore, and her body's just been wasting away, basically eating itself, and she had to have a feeding tube placed about a month ago. And so we had been working on her kitchen, but we moved to this front room when she had to have the feeding tube placed because she was going to have a home health nurse come in and help her with that. And so she wanted to have the front room a little bit more presentable. So that's why we just put a pause on the kitchen and decided to get this front room cleaned up. But at the end of this video, I will also show you the spice cabinet, because that's one thing that we did not get to in last week's video was that footage. So it is included at the end of this. I'm afraid to ask what that is. What do you think that is? I don't know. I'm a little scared of what it is. Is it just like a shell? Or is it like a curled up piece of food?
I think trash. I think food myself.
I know, it
really
probably is. But what if it's like some special shell?
Well, it seems too simple.
Oh, you know what? It's probably like a
dark flower.
No, it's the...
Her clock.
Yeah, where is the clock?
I don't know.
Oh, it's right there.
Oh. One is yours, right? This time?
That's what it is. It's gotta be a magic mushroom, right? Just kidding. Mushroom grow kit. I bet that's a mushroom. Okay.
Can we smell it or we
I
see
don't
it?
know. What do you think? Is it a mushroom? You have to see it. Like what? So this footage is actually from almost a month ago. It was July 8th, and it was the same day that Cammy had her feeding tube placed. So she is with us on the morning that this was shot. You'll actually see her bring some jeans down that she's donating here in just a minute, but she's getting ready to go have her feeding tube placed, and then we're going to be cleaning the front room while she has that done, and then she'll be back later in the afternoon.
Yeah. And I found the pair I wore the week I got married. So I'm smallest I've been since elementary. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And I weigh more than I did less than I did in 6th grade.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Because it's eating all your muscles. Oh, he's like dying back here.
Okay. Thank you, Bubba. Okay, this is about half.
Are we throwing this all away or?
No, we're going to wash it and donate it. So
to people that don't have anything. Do you remember the jeans that were in the cutouts that were like blue and white stripes in high school?
Yes.
I loved those.
Oh, in fact, those were
they were wide. Now, like
yeah. There were some Guess ones like that. I remember them being specifically Guess jeans that I loved, and I was like, we'll never be able to afford that. What I used to do is take the Guess, like, we'd go to the DI and get the Guess jeans and, yeah, take off the label, put it on our own.
I
like,
love
I'd sew
going
it
to
onto
the
my
DI.
own.
Why the heck not?
So
seriously.
Like, yeah, I got Guess jeans, right? And Gerbeau.
I wish I would have done that. I had Gerbeaus, like, but I didn't get, my mom didn't even buy my own shampoo growing up, so I only had paper route and crap. Finally, I saw some at a Costco or a Sam's Club, and they were like $35. I was like, oh yeah, and I think I wore them 3 times a week. And Z Cavaricci's, oh my gosh.
Z Cavaricci's, yes.
Yeah, those were crazy looking, some of them. I loved those, but I would tell that to my students, nobody will care in 20 years if you wore Z Cavaricci's or Guess or Jordache or Walmart. I'll remember what how you treated them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Love it. I like to leave in little bits of our conversations just because I think for some people it might be relatable. I wonder how many people did what I described there. I don't know if you really understood what I was talking about, but I would go to our local thrift store and get Guess jeans, which at least here in the U.S., they were a very popular brand and very expensive jeans. But I would go find any pair of jeans, whether they were my size or not, and get them for $3, $5, whatever, and get the tag off of it and then sew it onto my own jeans just to pretend I have Guess jeans, because it's just a fact of life for that age that if you do not have the name brand jeans, you're considered kind of an outcast. So I was going to go to whatever lengths I had to make it look like we could afford the name brand jeans. Not that that really did much for my social status, since I was still very, very shy in junior high and high school, but I did what I could. So I'm using liquid gold on this piano, and I come across something sticky on here right there, and I could not just rub it off, so I got my plastic scraper. I have my razor scraper that I use all the time, but I rarely use my plastic ones, so it actually came in really handy for this, just so it wouldn't scratch the wood. But I also soaked it with some of the liquid gold, like just sprayed it on there, let it set for a little bit, and then scraped it off, and it actually worked really well. And whatever the sticky stuff was on the piano, it was also on this coffee table and on the dresser that you'll see me clean off here in just a minute. So my plastic scraper got a lot of use. One thing that we were very careful of in this house was not to throw away any little Lego piece, not even the smallest piece, because Legos are very important to this family. They love them. All of them love them. So there's a lot of collectors sets here, and so we were very careful not to throw away any Lego pieces. And this little box of poppers right here was what she handed out for Halloween last year to the gluten-free kids that couldn't have the treats. So she got them little poppers. I thought that was very considerate. And just the fact that they still have Christmas stuff out and Halloween stuff from last year shows you just what a crazy year it has been. That's the big red button. Yep. Oh, it actually says some.
I'm looking. Oh,
Yeah. We're saving even the smallest of these pieces, so to go through this meticulously. And see all that white stuff there? You would think that that's garbage. It's not. It's actually Lego snow for that Lego Advent calendar right there, which is why I'm trying to save as much of it as I can. Now the paint is peeling off of this. This cat first stuck to it, so yeah, I think that's just gonna have to be good. Something that's going to be super important for this family moving forward, especially since Cammy and her husband both have some major health issues that they are not likely to fully recover from, is to make their lives easier by decluttering. And I know a lot of you are in the same position where maybe you've hit a point in life where you can't do everything that you used to be able to do, and things have become overwhelming. So I know we all don't have the option to have a friend or family member or a cleaning angel come along and just help you declutter and clean up your house, nor is it feasibly, oh my gosh, financially feasible to pay somebody to come and do that. So I wanted to share something with you from a viewer that commented about what she does in her situation, and I thought it was some great advice for anybody else who might find themselves in an overwhelming mess and doesn't know where to even start. So this is what she says. I'm a disabled person, and I have been thinking a lot lately about what could make my life better. The thought I hit on was that I need more ease in my life. I'm not totally clear on how to achieve that, but one thing I can think of is that I want to identify times when things don't feel easy. Our kitchen has become a bit cluttered, and I find myself struggling to find and extract the things I want to use from our overstuffed cabinets and drawers. I don't have the energy to do a full kitchen declutter, so my plan is that when I hit those moments of things feeling like a struggle, I will take a moment to evaluate what doesn't belong in that space. Oh my gosh. You should see under these cushions. It looks like Easter in here. So while Lynnita and I address this Easter explosion under these cushions, and now this is 3 holidays we've run into, Halloween, Christmas, and Easter, I want to get back to the comment because I will have moments like that too, especially in the kitchen, where I'm trying to just fit something in a drawer and it's not going, there's just not enough space, and I think those are the moments that she's talking about that you would just need to take a step back and go, okay, what is not working about this situation? And if it's just that there's too much stuff, that I'm sure there's always something you can pare down on. And even if you get rid of something that you're like, oh, I really should have kept that, chances are you can find another tool that will do the job. What looks like a lifesaver, it's not. It's like a corn thing, or I don't know. all of this that I'm putting on the carpet is enzyme cleaner, and I don't really have a favorite enzyme cleaner other than I do like Odoban because it comes in these big gallon bottles. And so I just mix it with a little bit of water and poured it onto some of these stains. And then I'm going to scrub it really good with this scrub brush and let it sit for a little bit to let those enzymes work. And so we'll come back to that and suck it up with our carpet cleaner in just a minute. Yeah, we already started this process and I forgot to get a before picture, but this is everything coming out of this closet. And look at that bolt of fabric. It's huge. Let's see what kind of material it is. Oh, it's like a utility type fabric. Cool. Trying to fit all that back in. All right. In last week's video, I mentioned that I was going to provide some helpful links to anybody who needed some advice on how to advocate for their own health, because Cammy has had kind of a nightmare story, and so she wanted to provide a helpful link for that. But I also have a link now for all of the recordings that Cammy provided to me, some of which I used in last week's video, and also the written out version of her story, which is very well written and she's very motivational. So I think you'll love it. Go check out that Google Drive link and check out those recordings and her story.
Oh, that's cute. So cute. Oh, that's adorable. Oh, that's so cute. Okay. I did not look at it. I just saw a little thing of fabric. So
That's adorable.
okay, so Christmas, here's Christmas.
Yeah, Cammy's daughter made that. That's why I thought it was so cute. In fact, Cammy used to teach a sewing class to youth, and she's got like 7 or 8 sewing machines because that's what she used to do before she got sick. As one of the things that she used to do. She had her hands in several things.
Okay, I don't know what that is. Do you know what these balls are?
Oh, they're bochi balls or bocce balls. Oh, but those don't seem as heavy. Oh, hey! I didn't know you were here. I thought you went with your mom. But yeah, bocce balls. Do you play bocce ball?
No.
It's fun.
One of those did give my dad a concussion.
Really?
Oh no. They really did?
And that is Cammy's son that we're talking to. And I have to say, he is the sweetest kid. He really was so helpful and so respectful. And if I'm being completely honest here, most of other people's kids really bug me. And I'm sorry to say that, but sometimes they're just so obnoxious and loud, and it's just, I can't handle that. So it was very refreshing to be around her kids who were very just sweet demeanors, just good kids. I don't know why, but I found this so satisfying to watch both of these carpet cleaners going at the same time, just sort of crossing each other. So we'll get back to that after we dump some of this dirty water out of both machines. Wow. Oh my gosh. I love seeing that. Holy cow. Okay, and number 2, I'll get, not number 2, like... The second one, you want to go get that? Look at that. Oh. Watch this, guys. Oh, okay. Wash our hands. If you're wondering how we have two machines, one is Cammy's and one was given to me by my friend Tisha, who had two carpet cleaners for some reason. So she was like, you can just take one for the houses that you clean. So that was very nice of her.
Are you serious? I think so. Yeah. So now we gotta go find the circuit breaker. Oh my gosh.
So after we overloaded the circuit, we decided to just use one carpet cleaner at a time. And I think in total we probably did like 8 or 9 passes over this carpet, but it probably still could have used some more. The water got a little lighter, but it was still pretty dark. And this is just carpet for you. I love the look of carpet and how it makes the home feel a lot cozier, but it is kind of gross how much dirt and stuff it traps. But if you are one of those people who has carpet and have been looking to get a carpet cleaner, or maybe now are looking to get a carpet cleaner after watching this, because it really is pretty satisfying. It's one of my favorite things to do next to laundry. My very favorite is the big green machine by Bissell. It's a little more expensive. It's a professional one, and but we've had ours for about 15 years and it's still going. I love it. But these ones that we're using here are the Hoover, and they're about half the cost. And so if you don't need something super industrial, then the Hoovers work great. And I will link both of them in my video description. So by this time, Cammy had gotten home with her feeding tube, and we got her settled on the couch with a towel because we had just washed the couch, but and had her help us make some decisions about, not help us make decisions. We helped her make decisions. How about that? About all the stuff that came out of the closet. So there were a few things that really didn't belong in there, but just got stuffed in there because that's just what happens when things get overwhelming and you don't know where to put anything. They just get put wherever. And so I think this happens in every home, but it's more likely to happen when you just have too much stuff. You're overwhelmed with other things, and things just get mingled together. So just trying to sort this out for her, create some categories, and get rid of some of the outgrown coats and things. Cammy was quite the trooper after just getting home with her feeding tube, and I know she was in a lot of pain, especially her throat because of the feeding tube. It was nice of her to even sit down there with us to make these decisions, because I'm sure all she wanted to do was lay down to sleep, but it was very helpful to have her down there with us. Okay, here are some before and afters of that living room. Turned out amazing. It's a cute little front room. I love it. And then also a before and after of that area with the dresser. And then we're going to get back to the jeans that she was donating. And here's what I did with them. Okay, we're at my brother's laundry facility in Bear Lake. We're going to wash these jeans from Cammy's house to donate. Huge bag. So it was convenient that I was already heading up to Bear Lake to see 3 of my siblings that live up there. And Bear Lake, by the way, is a resort town, and it's on the Utah and Idaho, or it straddles Utah and Idaho. But anyway, Joey, my brother right here, owns this laundry facility up there where he washes a lot of sheets and towels and things for the some of the rental properties. So I just asked if I could use his laundromat to wash some of these jeans, since that would be the most convenient, so I didn't have to do it at my own house, and worked out well. I would look at this and be like, that's like overfull, but this isn't a regular washing machine. Doesn't that look stuffed? Still needs more. I can't believe this really, you stuff it in this much?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's supposed to be stuffed full except for the size of a football, or about 6 12 packer.
That's so weird.
I'll show you why in a minute.
Does it spin so fast that it just is like, yeah. Oh my gosh, it won't even stay in there. These are too slippery.
Okay. We're still not completely full, but it's full enough. It won't get off balance. It will actually work. So.
All those extra things we're stuffing in there were just the laundry bags that they wash before they put the clean clothes back in them, or clean sheets, or whatever it is they put in there. I actually don't even know. I pretend like I know, but I don't. So, yeah, and it only takes 35 minutes. Crazy. And this is probably the equivalent of like 5 or 6 loads in my washer. So it was pretty nice to get it done all in one go. It did take a little longer to dry, though. It was probably a couple hours. And so while we were waiting for that to dry, I helped with folding some sheets, which they fold them really weird and not at all like I like to do it. Definitely no pocket folding. So it was a little annoying that I had to conform to their methods, but whatever. I still wanted to help out. So, okay. And then this is just us folding all those jeans later that day. And the way that I'm folding them here, I don't always fold them this way, but my mom sent me a video once of, some folding techniques, and I thought this one was just kind of fun, so that's what we all did. And you're gonna meet my Aunt Colleen here in just a minute. She is the cutest. She's my mom's only living sibling, and I just love Colleen. And it is not spelled the same as Colleen from Colleen Cleans, but that reminds me, I haven't shouted her out in a while. If you guys have not checked out Colleen Cleans, you really need to. She is so sweet, and I just cannot wait to meet her someday. She's just a beautiful person. Colleen, you have to say hi to my viewers.
Hello, viewers.
That's it, right?
I think so. First, take a plastic bag, then you put it on your head. Go to bed, wake up, bed. Whee!
Mother, what is wrong with you? Do it again. I want to see that again.
First, you take a plastic bag, then you put it on your head. Go to bed, wake up dead. Whee!
You missed the first part. Suffocation, game of coordination. Suffocation, the game we like to play. First you take a plastic bag, then you put it on your head. Go to bed, wake up dead. Whee!
Okay.
My whole family is crazy.
We're crazy.
And that apparently is where I get my morbid sense of humor, from my mother and my Aunt Colleen. Once they started singing the suffocation part, I do faintly remember that from my childhood. So anyway, back at Cammy's. So this is the family room, I guess you would call it. It's just that room that's beyond the kitchen that you keep seeing in the background of the kitchen videos. So the reason I'm showing this to you is not because I'm going to get it all cleaned up in this video, but to show you some of the helpers from her neighborhood. So these are a couple of ladies from her neighborhood. Neighbors, yeah. Anyway, these are a couple of neighbors. Sorry, words are hard. But anyway, people have asked if there is anybody that lives around her that can come help her with stuff, since she lives like an hour away from me and I can't be there all the time to help her. And yes, there are some fabulous neighbors that she has that are willing to come and help her. But, you know, it wasn't until recently that she decided that it's okay to let people help. And she actually talks about this a lot more in last week's video. If you missed that, you should go check it out, because there was a lot straight from Cammy that was very good advice for anybody who might be struggling with a similar situation and just needs a little help getting over that shame and actually letting somebody into your home to help. And especially before it gets to this state, it's a lot easier to find helpers to help with a smaller mess than when it gets to be so overwhelming. And if you truly don't have anybody that can come in and help you, I do have another option for you. But I'll talk about that in my next video, or maybe make a community post about it, because I've got way too many links going on in this video already. So I don't want it to just get lost in there, but I just stay tuned. I will talk about that in my next one, or make a separate post about it. Okay, we have finally made our way to the spices. This was actually going to be its own video, but the more I looked at it, I was like, it's just not enough to make it its own thing. So that's why I decided to add in the front room to the same video. But Lynnita and I are going to go through all of these spices and get rid of anything that was really past the best by date. The thing with spices is it's not like they really go bad, but they definitely lose a lot of their flavor after a while. So we asked her, just for some general guidelines on what she was willing to get rid of. And we did throw out a lot of these spices that were way expired, because, that's the whole point of having seasonings, is to season food. So if it's lost its flavor, there's no point in having it. But we also combined a lot of these because there were duplicates, and the cornstarch, I let Lynnita handle most of that, because that feels like chalk, and you guys, if you've been following me for a while, know how much I hate the feel of chalk. But anyway, so we also found a spice rack that was sitting on her counter that I'd forgotten about, and it's one of those refillable ones where you can just refill it with some of these spices. So that's how I got rid of a lot of the bottles as well. So this was kind of a fun little task, and we also ended up alphabetizing them, which I never do that, or at least I've never done that at somebody else's house. But the kitchen is one place that is very important to Cammy and to the family, and I always like to at least give the family one place that brings them joy, something that can lift their spirits. So this was that for them. Oh, I just got a comment from Remy Clog, who is one person that I completely admire. She's in the UK. Anyway, she's so real, and so easy to listen to, because she just got this cute accent. It's just this is my life, and it's crazy. She's just so cute and authentic, and I just love her. Yes. So I'm like, oh my gosh, she watches my videos.
Did she commented?
Yeah, she's sending you lots of love, Bonnie. I relate to so much of what you're saying.
Aww.
Anyway, that's so fun. So not only was it so nice that she commented on that video, that was the one where I was having a bit of a breakdown, and so it was nice for her to comment on that, but she also mentioned me in her next video, and she's just so sweet and supportive, and I feel bad that I haven't really been able to watch much of her videos lately, because I've been so busy trying to support some other channels that have less subscribers than I do. I just try to do what I can to have this trickle down to some of the other free cleaning channels and help them out. So, but I am watching more of hers now and catching up on some of hers. She's so sweet. And I'm also always so appreciative of the support from Mac and Barbie. And I was a little sad to miss out on the collaboration a couple weeks ago, but at the same time, I am glad, because it looked like that house was not really my thing, and they even had a hard time with it. So I am glad I made the choice not to go, and instead I went paddleboarding around Horseshoe Bend. A friend invited me to go paddleboarding, and I never say yes to stuff like that, because I'm usually too busy, or I say I'm too busy. And so my husband basically said, no, you're going, you need to go. So I did that. It was so fun and just what I needed. So I am feeling a lot better. I mean, there's still days that I'm not doing super great, but I do have an appointment with my doctor in a couple weeks to just talk about some things and figure out what's going on. Okay, it's finally time to alphabetize some spices here. And what's funny is we had them kind of organized into alphabetical order before we started putting them in this cupboard, but then we remembered there was a whole other cupboard of spices we hadn't gotten to, and so we had to kind of shift stuff around and redo it, and anyway, it was a whole thing. So there's going to be a lot of shifting around in this part of the video. And then, of course, there were the bigger spices, and I just sort of put those on the side to be somewhat with the alphabet order that they go in. I don't know how to say that, but hopefully you know what I mean. Organizing all of these made me really thankful that I only have about a quarter of this amount in my kitchen, because I don't love to cook and there are very few spices that I use. So yeah, I've got mine all just in one drawer. Well, I guess I do have another cupboard for the bigger spices that we use for grilling things, but yeah, for the most part, it can fit in just one drawer. I can't believe I almost forgot to mention this, but let's talk about comments for a second, because in an effort to keep myself from getting overwhelmed, and because I have told you I have a hard time not replying to every single comment, but I know I can't, and it's getting harder to keep up on the comments. So they're still important for the algorithm to show engagement. So I still love those comments. Keep them coming. But I am going to try to reply to most comments the day after, or, you know, within the first 24 hours of posting my videos. And then after that, it might be kind of hit or miss. But if you need a reply to your comment, put a question in there or a question mark, because I can sort my comments out by questions. And I also will always reply to my members and to any super thanks. So if you leave a super thanks, I will always respond to that and tell you thank you. So that's kind of my guidelines now for the comments. And if you're one of those that just likes to leave a comment to help with the algorithm, you can even just leave an emoji if you want, and that counts as a comment. So yeah, a heart, a thumbs up, whatever. That's also very appreciated.
You're motivating me to want to feed my family.
I know, and this is why I'm like, I don't normally spend so much time like alphabetizing spices and stuff, but when it's like important, you know, that's something that like
it's a priority.
Is important to you. That's what I
and
like
I'll tell
to give.
them that. Like, I would tell them that on voice.
So besides the spice cabinet, we also did this cabinet, and I couldn't really get my camera in here to record very well, so I'm just showing you how we organized it. So used a lot of these Lazy Susans. If you don't have a big Lazy Susan, this actually works really well to have a couple different ones in cupboards like this. And I also love that Lazy Susan for some of the bigger bottles like this, because it keeps it all contained. So I'm gonna have to get me some of these. I really like them, and those are just some cute little salt and pepper shakers that she collects. So anyway, just another cupboard that we organized. And then here comes some before and afters of those two cupboards. The before and after of the spice cabinet is great. The other one, it's a little hard to tell what's going on just because of the angle of the photo, but I still wanted to include it. So anyway, and then these are just some pictures from my recent paddleboarding trip in a video. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. And I know that was kind of a long video with a lot in it, but check out the video description because it'll kind of go over some of those links that I talked about. And make sure that you are not only subscribed, but also have your notifications turned on so that if I do make a community post, you don't miss that. So anyway, thanks you guys. Take care. We'll see you next week.